Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing great. I am very happy to be starting these new videos here on YouTube and probably on Instagram too. Because I want to talk to you about soccer. And I know that most of you that are collectors or have been collectors most of your life, or new collectors also, have been getting into soccer and really want to understand more about this sport. Because it's very different, to be honest, to all the American sports. Football, baseball, basketball, and the whole way it works, it's completely different. But I grew up in Colombia, in Bogota, and I am a big soccer passionate, and I also had the opportunity to go to Barcelona, study a master's degree, and work for an agency that was very close to the sports teams there. So I learned a lot about its business side and just how it works in general. So I'm really looking forward to sharing all this knowledge about soccer with you, and hopefully you fall in love at some point with the sport as much as I do. Today I want to start talking to you about the governing bodies or the big bosses, the big names in soccer that you really need to know about. The first one is FIFA. FIFA is the International Soccer Federation Association, and they are in charge of regulating the sport around the world. The biggest tournament that they organize is the World Cup, and it happens every 4 years. This is the tournament that every soccer fan awaits during these 4 years, which is a long time, and the one that is most watched and very popular among the sport and in the sports world in general. So FIFA has 6 regional confederations that are part of the organization. These regional confederations are in charge of organizing the sport and everything related to soccer in these regions, which are Europe, Central America, South America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. One of the biggest ones that you've probably heard about is UEFA, because UEFA organizes the sport in Europe. And European soccer is the most followed, the most popular, most watched around the world, and is the one that has the highest level. It's where the top 5 leagues are, where the best players are, and the teams there have millions of fans around the world and in the US as well. Teams like Man United that you've heard before, Barca, Real Madrid, Juventus, among many others that are part of the leagues that I'll explain later. Brazil is the team or the country that has been most successful in the World Cup. This is where players like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, or the mythic Pelé have played before. And some of the recent players, which you've probably heard a lot about, are Neymar, Anthony, which is a pretty good youngster right now. So Brazil has been the country that has the most championships in the World Cup, and one that honestly has a really good chance for this next World Cup, but we'll get into that conversation later. So UEFA organizes the Euro Cup in Europe. This tournament is probably the second most watched tournament in the national team level behind the World Cup. And it happens every 4 years. So this is where teams like France, England play against each other. And the last edition was the Euro 2020, which took place in 2021 because of COVID reasons. But the team who won this tournament was Italy. And you've probably heard players like Chiesa, Chiellini, Manuel Locatelli, Insigne, who had a really good Euro. So another one of the confederations that you should really know about is Concacaf. Concacaf is in charge of the Central America region. And this is where teams like the US, Mexico, Jamaica, or Costa Rica play. The big confederation tournament or national teams tournament here in Central America, it's called the Gold Cup. And the last edition of the Gold Cup was when the US was champions, or the US were the last champions of this edition when they played against Mexico. Mexico has about 11 tournaments or championships, and the US has 7. So the third and final confederation that you need to really take into account and know about is CONMEBOL. CONMEBOL is in charge of the South American region, and this is probably one of the toughest qualifiers regions to the World Cup, because it has teams like Brazil, as I was mentioning before, Argentina, that has World Cups as well, and it has always been very successful, and players like Maradona, for example, and also other teams like Colombia, Chile, Uruguay, Ecuador, that really fight for those first 4 spots to go into the World. So the CONMEBOL organizes the Copa America in South America. And the last edition of this tournament was in June, same time as the Euro Cup, and the last champions were Argentina. So this was very interesting because it was the first international championship for Messi. I'm sure you have all heard about him, and we'll talk about his cards and all that stuff later. But Messi had never won anything with his country before in the big level, international level. So this past Copa America was the very first one for him. And that's why it was really, really awesome. For all the sports fans, Messi followers, but in general, anyone who loves soccer wanted Messi to really win this Copa America. So today I really wanted to give you some context around the sport. As I said before, we will get into more details later as the videos continue. But just a quick summary. FIFA is up here, the big boss who organizes everything related to soccer internationally. 6 confederations, the 3 most important: UEFA, who organizes the Euro Cup, CONMEBOL, who organizes the Copa America, and Concacaf, who organizes the Gold Cup. The other 3 confederations are not really that important in the card world or in the card industry, so that's why I don't want to tell you about those. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something today, that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking about soccer and everything related to this sport every time. So I can't wait for the next videos. Let me know if you have any comments, or if you are looking forward to a specific topic as well, and I'll be happy to make it. You have a great day.